is not a test. This is your biohazard warning system. Due to the new COVID-19 virus, the following measures come into effect. We are announcing the start of the immediately effective nationwide quarantine, which has been officially approved by the United States government. Commencing at the siren, leaving your own household, even for medical or everyday errands, will be a criminal offense and will be punished with state-forced quarantine and, depending on the severity of the quarantine violation, death.
We are talking 5G zombies. This one is directed by Dustin Ferguson and John R. Walker. Now, this could be watched with a double bill with the recently released Corona Zombies, as they are both obviously made to be kind of somewhat of a parody of the current situation. Now, unlike Corona Zombies, the movie 5G Zombies is actually a newly shot, well, mostly, and it's essentially an anthology film where we have a variety of zombie situations, I will say, that are to do with the 5G network or phone networks in general, you know, sending out signals and turning the populace into zombies, along with the current pandemic, of course, with the coronavirus. Now, how do they shoot a new film, might you say? Let's discuss. So essentially what it is aside from one real, kind of the first story, I suppose, which looks like it was a British story shot before that is to do with kind of people just turning into quote unquote zombies because of their phones, which I think has been co-opted into this kind of story, and that's really the only one which actually has lots of members of casts with kind of zombies walking around, because every other, I don't even want to say story, I want to say vignette, is essentially people vlogging to a camera like I am now doing to you. So literally the whole entire movie outside of the first story, which I think must have been really shot before and kind of just added to this, has been kind of shot probably in isolation with people just talking to you. You've got, you know, Sean C. Phillips in there, you know, overexposed as he is these days, you know, always getting involved in these kind of low budget B movies, along with a bunch of other people, literally just talking to the camera and saying how scared they are about the zombie apocalypse. And that is your movie. That is it. So Corona Zombies used footage from a couple of older films, Hell of the Living Dead and I think it was Strippers vs. Zombies, and kind of shot a few new scenes, whilst this is mostly kind of new scenes with one, I'm speculating here, but I think maybe one existing short story that was to do with kind of phone signals that they just kind of obviously put in here. Now, it is all a zero budget affair, outside of the first one, which really, you know, you've got about 15, 20 extras in it, but there's no real special effects outside of a few little bit of blood smears on the face. But at least that one did have some form of a story. Literally everything else is just people kind of talking into the camera, and then we get a couple of scenes of maybe in the same quote-unquote story where someone else is talking to a different camera. So it's a really, really sort of cheaply shot, obviously, just to kind of ultimately kind of cash in on both the 5G conspiracy theorists that are out there, you know, that's saying that it's kind of spreading the virus and all of this, and obviously to do with the actual current pandemic that we're in as well. I kind of quite like the Purge kind of intro thing that they did. I thought that was kind of quite funny, and maybe the first one had at least a little bit of a story, even though it's kind of zero budget and really, you know, it has there is that kind of idea about people turning into zombies because they're now constantly addicted to their phones, which maybe was an idea that could have been explored. The first one does it to a degree, but it's not really brought up again really since then. So yeah, it's just a real mega low budget, just probably cost no more than, you know, a few $100 just to kind of get these people to record short little vignettes and kind of bung it all together and, you know, make some artwork for it, basically. So, yes, you can kind of watch it just as a kind of like ironic piss take along with Corona Zombies if you really want. But if you actually watching this for entertainment, I really think there's very little to be kind of had there outside of the kind of the initial joke, which is obviously, I don't know if really can stretch to a feature length kind of movie. How do you rate something like this? Because it's really just a one joke over the course of 90 minutes. It's not really a film per se. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, which I feel is generous, because I quite like the kind of the Purge parody bit, and at least the very first story had a little bit of plot, but I'm really reaching. And again, it's fairly timely. I don't feel it's quite as Corona Zombies to me, I felt was it was a little bit, considering we're still in the predicament. I don't know if it was as in good taste. Not that this is a good taste movie, but I don't think it's quite as kind of distasteful maybe as Corona Zombies, even though it more or less is the same sort of thing. But at least the focus is on the 5G thing. Anyway, 3 out of 10, which I think is pretty generous. Maybe you want to watch it ironically. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.